And welcome to the Hot Seat of College Football Show. I am Trent, your host, as today this video is a little unorthodox as I am out here in Cape Coral, Florida, out in the wilderness trying to record a YouTube video. We got the whole setup with the mic and the camera. So this video might not have a ton of editing just because, again, I do not have what I normally have. I hope you guys like the background. It's really pretty. We are on a canal, I guess, that leads out to the ocean. People bring their boats in. It kind of goes all the way down there. So maybe the background will keep you entertained. I know you can hear a little bit of the birds. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Ohio State and kind of just rant and do kind of a rant video about Ohio State going into the next season, because I've had a lot of time to think about it. And I know every year, it's really windy. I'm going to put the glasses on my forehead. I know it's every year, it's expected for Ohio State to win the national title. And yes, it should be possible every year, especially under regimes like Tressel, Urban Meyer, Ryan Day, even sometimes Jonathan Cooper was in the modern day. He would be up for the 12-team playoff nearly almost every year. Kind of like Ryan Day. That's what we said. Ryan Day is John Cooper in the 12-team playoff, which I disagree. I think Day is a better coach than John Cooper. But John Cooper had some pretty incredible teams. I think Cooper probably had better teams than Tressel overall. But kind of going into this year, this is Day's eighth. This is his 7th or 8th year in college football, especially being the head coach at Ohio State. And we just came off kind of a disappointing end of the season with the loss to Indiana, which I was at that game, and then the loss to Miami. So, yeah, not the way you want it, especially with the type of season that Ohio State had. Ohio State had, people think you're going to go 9-3. You go 12-0. You're the number one team in the country, and you lay an egg against the biggest teams. And if you look at Ohio State's schedule, it turned out to be much easier than we thought. This was looking like we're going to play the number one and number two teams in the country, that being Texas and Penn State. And we did play them. Texas was number one when we played them at the very beginning of the year, and we beat them. But we only scored 14 offensive points. And if you look at it, Texas, even in that game, and I think we can talk about it now just because Ohio State kind of finished the season how they did, people wanted to kind of ignore it when the season was going on, is you look at Texas, let's say they score the touchdown at the inch-yard line, okay, then they have 14 points. Let's say they get the half a yard. Now they're looking at that fourth down and 3 at the other end of the field in the fourth, where it was the incompletion to I think it was Igbinosin or Jermaine, and they kick a field goal. Then they're up 17-14, and then we get stopped. And yes, we were playing conservative, but they almost got in field goal range on the final drive. So if you look at it, and they had the interception, if Texas played better, you're like, okay, Texas wins 20-14, or they win 17-14, and they end up beating Ohio State. Penn State was terrible. You can't expect anything from them. The offense didn't look great against Washington. It didn't look great at times against Illinois and Wisconsin. Against Wisconsin and Purdue, when their defensive lines were stunting, they really kind of got up on Ohio State. And then against Michigan at the end of the regular season, which was the final win Ohio State had all year, which is, that's the funniest thing. It's literally the analogy of, would you rather beat Michigan or win the national title? And now the past 2 years, you lost to Michigan and you won the national title, or you lay a dud in the postseason, but you beat up on Michigan. So, and looking at how I guess I would do it, I would have rather, in 24, that was the year they won the national title. That wasn't the year you had to beat Michigan. Obviously it was 4 years in a row. You should have beat Michigan, but you needed to win the national title that year. The way it happened, if I had to choose, I like the way how it played out. You beat Michigan, or you win the national title, and the next year you beat Michigan, and you blew out Michigan 27-9. So now, heading into 2026, Patricia seems like he's going to come back, and we lose a lot on defense. You bring a lot of guys in. One guy that no one's really talking about, I won't say nobody, but that not a lot of people are talking about that I am extremely excited for is Terry Moore out of Duke, the safety. He tore his ACL. He was one of the top safeties with Caleb Downs 2 years ago, and did not play at all this past year, kind of like Jihad McCoy, the cornerback out of Tennessee. So, going into 2026, do I think Ohio State can win, or do I think Ohio State can win the national title? The answer is yes. Do I think they will? No. Do I think Ryan Day can win another national title? Yes. Do I think he's going to? Probably not. Can Jeremiah win the Heisman? Yes. Do I think he will? No. So, going into this next season, I'm not saying Ohio State is destined for disappointment or they are destined for failure, but I lack confidence when it comes to this is like the year Ohio State wins the national title. After we won the national title in 24, coming into this year, there was a lot of concerns on the defense. We were a year early. The concerns come now. Yes, Kenyatta's coming back. Yes, you have a lot of transfers. Edric should be better, but you really, the leftovers from that national title team really carried this team, and now they're, especially on defense, they're fading away. They've already faded away. They're gone. And now the remnants of the national title on offense this year with Julian, the O-line, Jeremiah is going to be gone. Mylan Graham and Quincy Porter left. This is it. This year is the last year Ryan Day can ride out on that national title and the benefits of that roster. Going into next year, 2027, Tavian's probably your guy, unless something happens in spring or throughout the season and they realize, hey, we need a transfer next transfer portal cycle. Jeremiah will be gone. Bo Jackson will be a junior. Maybe get Jacoby Jackson again. Edric might come back for his senior year. Chris Henry Jr. is probably your wide receiver 1. Probably got a few transfer guys. But, I mean, like, if Ryan Day were to win the national title this year, I would not be surprised if he left Ohio State. I would not be surprised. And I wouldn't be angry, to go out on 2 national titles out of 3 years. And really you had Ohio State in the national title conversation every single year he has been at Ohio. There was never a year where it's like, it's like, oh, we're out of it. There was never a year where before the Michigan game, it was Ohio State's out of playoff contention. There was never one year. And if there were a year for that to happen, it was probably 21. I would probably say that was probably the year because you had one loss before Michigan. You had a couple close games. But that's also this year. This year's schedule is abhorrently hard. You start off at Texas, which you don't start the year off, but week 2 at Texas. Then you get a little bit of a break. But then we have games in the middle of our schedule at USC, at Iowa, Illinois, then at Indiana. I think it goes at Indiana, bye week. I think it's like at Iowa, at Indiana, bye week, at USC, then Oregon. There might be one game in the middle of those two, maybe before the Indiana game, but it's like at Iowa something, at Indiana, bye week, at USC, then Oregon. Then at Nebraska, which yes, they don't have Dylan Raiola, and I don't believe in Nebraska this year, but it's on the road. Could 100% be a night game, depending on how the Big Ten schedule works out that week. And then Michigan at home. which I don't think they'll be better than us. I think we'll beat them, but it's still hard. Ryan Day has never beat Michigan at home, which is crazy because he's beat them twice on the road. He has never beat them at home. 2020 should have been at home, or it was going to be, but they canceled it. If you really think about it, 2019 and 2021, Michigan got back-to-back home games. So really, last year's game should have been out. They should have kept it. So 2021 should have been a home game. 2020 should have been an away game. And then this year's going to be at home. This year should really be at away, and last year should have been at home. And when we lost them in 24, if that game was on the road, I think actually we probably win because we kind of not slept walk, but we were so confident in ourselves, and you can't have that. You can think you're going to win, and you can expect to have a standard, but you can't expect to win that game. So I'm kind of dancing around the point, but I do not think Ohio State's going to win the national title next year. I don't think Oregon's going to do it either. I think it's going to be one of these other teams. And is it Notre Dame? Is it Miami? Is it Georgia again? Is it LSU? Is it Texas? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be Ohio State. I just don't think Julian is going to be enough of a ground threat. I don't think he's going to be enough of a threat on the ground. And I think the offensive line will get better, but I mean, it wasn't even like, oh, they kind of got beat up. No, they got beat up. And I don't know how much you can improve in the offseason when you don't grab a big name left tackle. I mean, I would have sacrificed getting Jacoby Jackson and Kyle Parker if we could have got Jordan Seaton. I don't care that we talk about Ryan. I think Ohio State's a little behind where they're constantly talking about how they're afraid of getting some of these guys because of the culture. But I watch Oregon, and it's Oregon and Miami. I watch specifically Miami bringing all of these guys who are like, I don't want to be around these guys. Like Carson Beck, who blames his teammates, and they just went to the national title. So I think you can breed culture into anybody. Even guys that are money hungry, I think there's a way to do it. And obviously, Miami kind of plays into that culture, so maybe that was a reason why. And Ohio State really does not do that. But I really think that should have been a thing they should have done. Getting transfers at every single position, and yes, Ohio State got a kicker. I'm excited about that. But not going left tackle, not getting Jordan Seaton, I don't understand that. Now we're getting outbidded by everybody. And you can say it's Ross Bjork, you can say it's Ryan Day, you can say it's the boosters, you can say whatever. You can say it's Les Wexner. I mean, not getting the Les Wexner money because he's preoccupied at the minute. I don't know. I don't know. But I am a little concerned. I'm a little concerned about the future. I'm excited about Tavian. I'm worried about where the sport's going. There's going to be so much parity with the transfer portal that Ohio State is going to kind of maybe fall back to the pack. Because what I've been saying the past couple of years is Ohio State's been the only program that has not been affected by losing half the roster, and recruiting's been really good, and we're bringing in studs throughout the portal with like Caleb Down, like that 2024 transfer class. And even though last year's transfer portal class was really bad, no Ethan Onyawa sucks. Bo Atkinson was bad. Who else did we get? I don't even. Who came in through the portal last year? Phillip Daniels was pretty good. C.J. Donaldson sucked. I mean, even with Phillip Daniels, he was okay. He was supposed to be a guy that was like you bench him for a year, let him develop, and then he plays. So I think he'll be pretty good. But yeah, Ian Moore at left tackle now, which is probably what it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Austin Sareveld. I don't know. And with Arthur Smith being the offensive coordinator, I think he'll be better than Brian Hartline, but I think he's just going to be a better Brian Hartline. Kind of maybe like a Chip Kelly. The problem is if we had Chip Kelly this year or Arthur Smith or Brian Hartline, not Brian Hartline, but an Arthur Smith or Chip Kelly where it's his heavy sets tight ends, we don't have a Travion Henderson or Quinshon Judkins to run the ball for them. So I don't know. Last year you had a historically good team. You had a historical defense, only allowing 9.3 points per game. And even in that Miami game where you allowed 24, you really only allowed 17 because there was a pick six. And then really one of the touchdowns they let him score. which you still have to count that, but still. So, I don't know. I trust Ryan Day. I trust his hires, and I trust that Matt Patricia will be coming back. I sure hope so. But it'll definitely be a question. And it'll be a question is, how long can Day keep the program up? I mean, you even look at Kirby's supposed to be a better coach than Day. Georgia's really fallen back to the pack. Bama's nicked them a couple times. Eventually, Texas will catch up there. LSU will catch up. Ole Miss already seems like they've caught up. Yes, Lane Kiffin left, but they beat Georgia without Lane Kiffin. And we'll see about Trinidad. I'm not going to say Tennessee, but like Notre Dame's beat Georgia. So, we'll see. USC's catching up too. Oregon's catching up. Washington's catching up. Michigan State. Michigan. Indiana now. I could even see like Texas Tech. Texas Tech starting to catch up. I scored just as many points as they did in the playoff, but still. So yeah, I think that's all I have for right now. I'll probably I'm gone till like Monday, so I'll be gone. I'll be here for a little bit. I'll try to make one of these once a day. But yeah, they probably won't be heavy scripted or like. I'm not gonna add any of the like effects or music. It's probably just gonna be kind of like this. I'll still do a thumbnail. But yeah, even before I go, if anyone's even still watching, I'll just kind of show you like what everything kind of looks like. It is a beautiful. Sorry, that was kind of loud. Beautiful area, and a beautiful house to live on for about a week till I get back. When I get back to Ohio, when I get back to the studio, which is just my room, videos will get back to normal. Before I get out of here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. It is free, and we are so close to 200 subs. If you want to help us get there, that would be amazing. Make sure you hit the like button. It is free, costs you nothing, and videos that get likes get promoted by YouTube double the amount. Also, turn on the notification bell if you want to get a notification every single time I release a new video. And then also, yesterday I dropped a video on my top 10 quarterbacks going into the next season, this season coming up. So if you're interested in that, you should go watch that. I have some interesting takes in that one. But again, that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. And as always, thank you.